Do I remember the short-lived 7 gimmick that Goldust had in WCW in the late 90s? If so, what are my thoughts on the nature of the gimmick itself and when Dustin Rhodes pretty much tore apart the gimmick and WCW's talent department in an on-air supposed shoot promo? Yeah, I remember that. I thought it was awesome. The funny thing is that Dustin Rhodes has always been very angry at times in his career. This was a great promo. This was a legit pipe bomb. If you guys go on YouTube right now, look up Seven's debut in WCW. For those of you who might not have seen this or remember it, it's pretty cool because they did a whole series of vignettes leading up to to Dustin's debut as Seven, and they were, I forgot how it went, but it was like a vision of him in a window looking at a little kid or something creepy like that. His face is painted completely white. He looks like Uncle Fester. He's wearing an Undertaker type outfit with a long trench coat and a hat, and they built this thing up, and you thought to yourself, wow, WCW got their hands on Dustin Rhodes. He was Goldust in the WWE. They're going to bring him in a similar character, maybe just a little bit darker in WCW, and he's come home because WCW is, where he really made his name and wrestled as the Natural back in the early 90s and was really good. And he debuts finally on Nitro, I think. It might have been Thunder. I forgot. But he comes out there and immediately gets on the mic and says, look at this shit that they have me in, and starts cutting a promo on, I guess, the powers that be, because around this time is when Russo and Ferrara went over there and they were doing that whole angle where the powers that be and the writers and, basically exposing the business even more than it was already exposed by that point. And he basically says this gimmick is shit. I came back to WCW because I thought it was home and they dressed me up in this nonsense. And he said Goldust was a terrible character. He shit all over Goldust. And the funny thing is he kind of did this in the WWE in 98. If you remember, it was one of those Monday Night Raw shows, and I remember him coming out to the stage as Dustin and burning the Goldust costume in a barrel, saying this gimmick is ruining my life and Goldust is dead as of now. And they dropped the whole thing only to bring it back like 6-7 months later. So essentially he's doing the same thing now in WCW, shitting all over his previous gimmick of Goldust, a gimmick that you look at today in 2017 and is a pretty iconic and industry-changing character from the time he came in and all the controversy surrounding him in 1995 to see him still relevant, or still on TV at least, in 2017 and what is seemingly probably his final run, and seeing what a great career and what a legacy the Goldust character had. It's kind of funny to watch him back then shit all over it. But I do remember it. I don't think it was a legit shoot promo. I think it was totally planned. It was the type of shit that Russo liked to do back then, and I actually did like the promo. I thought the promo was good. And I'm glad the 7 gimmick didn't last. I don't even really remember what Goldust or what Dustin did in WCW after that. I know he had to reconcile with his father. Him and Dusty didn't talk for like 5 years during his entire time in WWE. So I don't think they got back together until he returned to WCW around this time. But, I thought the entrance and the debut of 7 only for Dustin to say, fuck this, I'm not going to be this character, I actually thought it was kind of good.